surprise shone light from distant northern skies. At that point, I realized I don't know where it comes from, but I know it's okay. This is all an illusion, and I'm willing to play.
Welcome to the Quantum Guide Show, interviews with awakened masters as they share their quantum work with you. The Quantum Guide Show is produced by Karen Holton, creator of the 9 Steps to Quantum Health Transformation, a free 9-step online course to give you the tips and resources you need to thrive. Karen lost and continues to keep off 178 pounds of surplus body weight as she made her dreams come true. Whether you are awakening to the ascension process or simply want a wiser, more efficient lifestyle, this program is for you. No strings attached. The Quantum Guide Show is brought to you in part by Zendome's Orgonite, Karen's unique brand of orgone generators, ethically sourced, handmade, and double charged for maximum effect. Find out how orgone generators work and what they can do for you. Don't be fooled by imitations. Check out Karen's current selection, only available from her website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, and on Facebook, facebook.com/Quantum Health Transformation. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Quantum Guide Show. Today, our special guest is Susan Blocker from Virginia, who is going to tell us about her waking up experiences and how she began her galactic and spiritual experiences and missions. Susan was born and raised in New York City, but 14 years ago, she relocated to Virginia. For those of you who are not familiar with Susan's work, she is now 58 years old and she was born without arms. However, she is independent by use of her feet. Susan says, "In my world, my legs are my arms, my feet are my hands, and my toes are my fingers." Throughout her life, she always had a natural interest in writing and researching information. Susan works at home in alternative media as a researcher and a writer of news commentaries. Her primary goals revolve around researching and studying the history and creation of humanity, Earth, and the galactic realms. Between the ages of 3 to 5 years old, Susan's connection, adventures, and missions began with her galactic and spiritual guides, which has continued throughout her lifetime. Susan's goal and mission in this lifetime, is to share her galactic and spiritual experiences with as many people as possible to help expand human consciousness and awareness to life that exists beyond the Earth. Welcome to the Quantum Guide Show, Susan. How are you doing?
Hello, Karen. Thank you. I'm glad to be here and I'm doing well. Thank you.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. So today we've talked quite a bit. I've put in the links in the description box below, the different shows that you have been on with me. And so people can go and take a look at your experiences and all the different things, wonderful things that we've talked about. But one thing we didn't really talk about yet that I kind of want to zero in on today is about your waking up experience. Now, I'm guessing you had a very early waking up experience, but I'm wondering, do you remember if there was a defining moment where you felt that you were jarred into, wait a minute, this is not what everybody's pretending it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yes. And basically my first, I guess you can say, mini wake up experience was when I was between the ages of, I believe, 5 and 6 or 7 years old. Mm-hmm. And I was in the car with my dad, and we were driving home. And I remember the sun was glaring into the car on my left side of my body, and it was so bright. It was like really, really bright. And all of a sudden, I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. My dad, I was aware that I was in the car. I was hearing my dad talking, because before the sun hit the left side of my body, I remember just sitting with my dad, chatting away, talking about whatever I was talking about, because I was a kid then. So I had a lot of things to talk about. And then all of a sudden I froze up and I could no longer move. And my dad was still talking, trying to get my attention, but I was not able to speak to him. And I felt at that time, the sun literally, I connected with the sun. I can't explain it, but it's a connection. It's like my body locks up and it connects with the sun. And from that moment on, I was zoomed up into the sun. And basically that moment, because I am from inside the sun, that's my home planet. And when I was connected that day to the sun again, basically it was my galactic family connecting with me, letting me know in a nice way, you're here to do a job. Don't forget what you're here to do. Because prior to that, I really didn't realize that I was here for, to do anything special or whatever. So I was just being a regular kid. But that after that incident, I realized then that, yes, I'm here to do something different. And Earth is not my home. My home is inside of the sun. And I've always had, even at a younger age, before I was like between 5 and 7 years old, I always connected with the sky. Everything from the sky I connected with. The sun, the moon, the clouds. I mean, it was automatically like, I can't explain it, Karen, but it's like, whenever I would look up at the sky, I would feel comfort that I didn't feel down here. So it was an automatic connection to the sky. But at that earlier age, I didn't know, that I was actually from inside of the sun. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until when I was, again, between the ages of 5 and 7, and they connected me to the sun and literally opened up a portal and set me up there, and to kind of wake me up and say, you're here to do a job. Don't forget what you're supposed to do. And when they zoomed me back into the car, and my dad was still talking to me, I don't think he even realized anything happened to me, because he was just steadily talking to me, trying to get my attention or whatever. But I couldn't explain to him what happened to me because I was still young. So I didn't know how to explain that, but I knew something big happened to me. And that was the first time I realized that I did not belong here, that this was not my home. So that was the first inkling that I got that I was here to do something different. The next time was when I was about, it took years. Maybe I had other little experiences, but I don't remember. I really don't. Because I was, I grew up in foster care, so I had a lot of things going on then. So my focus wasn't really on that. It was on what was going on in my life down here at that time. Once I got my life settled and I moved into my last foster parents' home, that's when the experiences started for me. And it started when I was 15 years old. And I was at my foster grandmother's house. Me and my sister were spending the night there. And we used to like to camp out on the floor and watch TV and stuff like that. And we fall asleep and, wake up the next morning and do whatever. But during the night, she was sleeping. I was sleeping, but then I woke up. And when I woke up, I was laying on the floor, which is where I was laying at, but I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything. It was dark in the room. I was aware of everything that was going on in the room. And I felt like something was pulling me from the inside of my body out. It was like something was trying to lift me up. But I fought it. I did not want to, I didn't know what it was because I was 15 years old. I never had that experience before, and I didn't know what was going on. It terrified me, to be honest with you. It terrified me. So I fought it off for as long as I could. And finally, it released me. Whatever it was, it released me. It let me go. But after that time, from that time on, it seemed like maybe once or twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, I would have that same experience. And each time it happened, I would force it not to happen.
Right.
Because I was terrified. It just felt like something was pulling me from the inside, trying to pull my spirit out or something. I don't know what it was. I didn't know what it was at the time. Okay.
Did that turn out to be your introduction to astral traveling?
Yes, it did. Yes. Finally, when I was like 21 years old, 21, 22 years old, I had my own apartment. Then I had just moved to my own apartment. And I got up one morning to go to the bathroom, get some water, and get back in the bed because it's early in the morning. When I got back in the bed, I remember looking at the clock. The clock said 6:30 in the morning. I said, okay, I'm not getting up, not going back to bed. And that's what I did. I laid down and went back to bed. The minute I laid down, that feeling hit me out of nowhere again, that pulling sensation. And this time I just gave into it. I said, okay, I'm not going to fight it this time because it's been going on for years. So obviously something inside of me wants to go somewhere or do something or whatever. So I'm just going to be brave and let go. And I did. I let go. And when I let go, I had the most amazing experience that I've ever had in my life. I literally left my physical body here on Earth, and I floated outside of my apartment complex. I could see everything. I had like a 160-degree view of, it seemed like the entire world. That's what it seemed like to me. I saw my neighbors, and they were up early, because get up early in the morning, get the newspaper or whatever. And I tried my best to get their attention. I would say, hey, look at me. Nobody could see me. They couldn't see me. I didn't know they couldn't see me because I assumed I was still visible to everyone. But I wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, here you are flying and you can't show anybody.
Yes.
Look at me, I'm flying and they don't see you.
So after that, when I was trying to get in touch with my neighbors and let them know I'm flying up in the air or whatever, I moved on. I went further up into the sky, further up, past Earth, anywhere. And I wound up, I wound up in a very beautiful place. A place that I'd never seen. There was lots and lots of flowers, tons of flowers, gigantic flowers. The colors were amazing, nothing you never see beyond Earth, nothing. And I was standing in front of this gigantic gate. And the gate, if you want to say a pearly gate, that's what it was. It was a giant pearly gate. And this gate looked so big, it seemed to me that it covered the entire world. That's just how big it was. Flowers that I was looking at was inside that gate, inside. And I tried my best to get inside the gate because I wanted to see the flowers, but I wasn't allowed to go in that gate. Someone out of nowhere, I don't know who it was, but they basically, in a very stern voice, but not a mean voice, said, you can't go in there.
Yeah.
And the voice sounded so loud, I just knew everybody in the whole world heard it, Karen. I knew that because it sounded so loud to me. And I tried to turn around to see where this voice was coming from, who it was, but I couldn't even turn around. I couldn't turn around to see who it was. Then I looked at my body, or what I thought was my body, and I didn't have a body. My body was gone. I was nothing. I didn't see anything, but I knew I was there. I knew I was physically, I'm not physically, but I knew I was spiritually there. Yeah. And I didn't have a mouth. I didn't have a face or anything, but I was talking telepathically.
Yeah.
So whatever this person was saying, even though I didn't have ears, I was able to hear it. And I was able to communicate back with this being.
Mm-hmm.
And I told this being, I asked this being, because me being me, I want to know why couldn't I go in there? And I asked him, well, why can't I go in there?
Mm-hmm.
And it told me it's not your time to go in there. That's what it told me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, but I want to go in. I want to see the flower. You can't go in. It kept, I mean, we were arguing back and forth, Karen. So,
Yeah.
so finally, it said, when it's your time, you will be able to go back in that gate, but not right now.
Yeah.
You have things to do here. You have to go back. You have things to do here.
Yeah.
So the next thing I know, I was back over my apartment, floating over my apartment building, above this, I mean, up in the sky, into, above the roof of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I know, I was back in my body. And I guess I woke up, or I don't know if I was sleeping. I don't know what my body was doing, but when I woke up, I was in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally disorientated, completely disorientated.
Yeah, I bet.
I didn't know. It was like somebody had dropped me from the land of Pluto onto Earth and just said, here, function. I didn't know what my name was. I didn't even know I had a name. I didn't know what the chair was. I kept seeing all this furniture and all this stuff around me, but I didn't know what it was. I had no connection to it, because when I left my body that time, everything that's here, it didn't matter up there.
Right.
So there's no connection to anything down here anymore. So when you place back into your body, all of these things down here seem foreign.
Yeah.
So I got up and I started walking around my house and trying to figure out who lives here. What is this place?
Mm-hmm.
It took me maybe about 5 or 10 minutes to really sink myself back into my body and into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And to realize where I was, that this is my home, because I did not know anything. I had no connection with anything or anyone, or even myself at the time. Even my physical body seemed strange to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that I was back here and I left that beautiful place up there, I'm not going to fib to you, I was upset. I was very angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because wherever I went, I don't want to say it's heaven. I don't want to say whatever, because I don't know for sure. But I do know that it was beautiful, and I didn't want to come back here.
Oh, I actually have had similar experiences, but I wanted to just interject and ask you, Susan, for the audience, there's all different people with all different experiences, and different things are waking people up in different ways. And there are what they call nuts and bolts ET researchers that want everything to be proven in the 3-dimensional. But the areas that you access, and actually so do I, they are not in this 3D realm. So I think it's important for people, when they're listening to our experiences, to orient themselves that a lot of this goes on in what we call the spiritual realms.
Yes.
And not in the 3D. So, I mean, someone could say, well, how could anybody live in the sun? You'd get all burnt up. Well,
No.
because you're not taking your 3-dimensional body when you go into the sun. So I just wondered if you could speak to this about spirituality, astral travel, these amazing experiences, and how from your own words, you see it as being organized with different realities.
Okay, well, from my experience, like you just said, Karen, it doesn't take place in this realm, in this 3D physical realm that we live in.
Right.
It takes place beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Call it heaven, or you can call it, well, I've traveled to other planets, so that's beyond Earth. So it's not here. Mm-hmm. So it's some of the places I've traveled are like Earth, not Earth. They're not this Earth that we live on right now, that I'm here, my physical body's here.
Mm-hmm.
And see, whenever I leave this planet and I go to another planet or I go back into the sun, I don't take this body. It's only like once or twice that this physical body actually came with me.
Mm-hmm.
And how that happened, I don't know, Karen, but it was meant for it to happen. And it only happened once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
All the other times, this physical body stays here. And
Yeah.
I've even had friends to try to, you know, my partners that I was living with or whatever, because I was having like these out of body experiences quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I would actually have my partner, okay, look, watch my body and tell me what it does, you know, because sometimes I can feel before it actually happens, I can feel when I'm going to leave my body. So I can lay down and just let it happen. So if somebody's next to me, I'll just say, okay, well, watch and see what my body does. And let me know, basically. And so what I'm understanding, my body, my physical body goes into a deep sleep. And I'm disconnected. My spiritual part of my body is disconnected from the physical body, but I'm still connected through what they call some type of cord. It's a cord that connects you from your spirit and it's attached to your body. So you can always get back in your body.
Right.
If the body is in distress, which a couple of times my body has been in distress when I'm out of my body, and I immediately come back into it. I'm automatically set back into my physical body. So that I think it's called golden cord or something like that. But that's what connects me, keeps me connected to my physical body when I leave here. And I can travel anywhere beyond Earth as long as that cord is still attached to my physical body. I'm assuming once that cord is disconnected, that means I'm not coming back here. That's what I'm assuming, but I have to be connected to that cord. And I know sometimes when my physical body is out, I mean, not my physical body, my spiritual body is outside of my physical body. Sometimes I'm also aware of what's going on in my home as I'm actually on another planet somewhere. It's because, again, we're multidimensional. So we can kind of be at two places at one time or even multiple places at one time.
Yep.
So I can still be functioning outside of my body and still be aware of what's going on in my house, literally. So I've had experiences like that. Yes.
Oh, that's a really good description. So with the waking up process, there's a lot of craziness going on in the world today. And how important do you feel it is for everybody to wake up? And do you think this is something that'll only happen to a few select people, or is this opportunity available to everybody?
These opportunities, as far as I can see, Karen, I believe this opportunity is available to everyone.
Yeah.
Because this is a global planetary awakening time. And people have the ability to wake up, but it depends on how entrenched in this 3D reality they are, whether they're going to wake up or not, or even if they want to. Because you have people who are in denial. They know something's wrong, they know something's going on, but they don't want to deal with it. You know, they just want to continue to live in this 3D reality and have things go the way they're going right now. They're afraid to look beyond, because when you think about it, their whole reality is being destroyed right now.
Yeah, and I'm noticing it's making some people cling even tighter to the construct. They're terrified to let go. And yet people like you and I and many others are saying, let go. Feel the freedom and experience these different areas of reality we didn't even know existed before. We've been told, oh no, that's not true. That's fantasy. That's nonfiction. That's science fiction. And here, what they're telling us is the fiction, and what we're experiencing is the real thing. So, sorry, I get fiction and nonfiction mixed up. I guess what I'm saying is they're telling us it's fiction, and we're finding out it's nonfiction. There, I said it right that time.
I think it seems like everything that they've told, basically what I've been telling people, in order for them to move on from this reality, this construct that we live in, very destructive construct.
Yeah.
Basically, you're going to have to forget everything you were taught, because everything that you've been taught, living on this in this 3D reality is a lie. It's not real. They made it up to enslave us on this planet. And once you break away, wow. Once you break away from this, there's so much to learn, Karen. Just so much. There's so many wonderful things that they've kept hidden from us. That we don't even know about here. But you have to be willing to let go. And a lot of people don't want to let go because this is all they know. It's all they were told that existed, and let alone talk about other planets. They can't even imagine. Only way they know how to get to other planets is by getting on a spaceship and traveling to. No, you can do that yourself.
Yeah.
That's something they didn't even tell you.
That's the beauty of being a multi-dimensional being, and so we've been lied to. And Susan, I don't know if you've ever seen any of their old footage from around 1900. They used to have what they called flea circuses. If you do some research for our listeners, you can go out and actually look at some of these old grainy videos of these flea circuses. So they had all these fleas marching and staying in lines and pulling little carts and doing all these things. Well, how the heck would you teach a flea to do that? Well, you confine it this way or that way over 3 or 4 generations. And then the fleas don't know that they can jump, and they don't know that they can leave the queue, and they don't know. And we're the same as that flea circus. So we've been kept in, I would say, social petri dishes. So we couldn't jump as high as what we can, and we couldn't have these out of body experiences. And of course, the church, they went and put their pressure all over the world so that they could own spirituality, which they don't. But I'm rambling on here, but I'm just wondering what you have to say about what I just said about people are been so confined for so many generations, they've completely lost touch with our potential.
We have, and basically they purposely made it so that people don't remember who they are, where they came from, because technically speaking, we're all aliens.
Yeah.
We laugh and make fun. Well, not me, I don't make fun of them, right? But people laugh and make, aliens don't exist, and they're negative, blah, blah, blah. But they don't realize they're aliens themselves. They don't realize. And the thing about it, they don't realize the power that they have, because we were made up. Our DNA has like 23 plus different DNAs of different alien races. Yeah. So we are super powerful beings. And they don't want us to know that. That's why they shut everything off and didn't tell us about all this stuff, because they know once we step into who we really are and remember why we came here, what we're here to do, the powers that we have, they cannot control us. They can't control you, Karen. Yeah. Once people realize, and that's what's scaring the cabal right now, is that they're afraid of this awakening, because they know once everybody wakes up, they have no control. Yep. They have no control.
And we can do it without hitting anybody, without saying a nasty word, without protesting, without going to war. And so I guess you and I are in agreement that waking up is really important. And I see that with all that's going on in the world today, there's never been a better time to wake up. People are waking up by the millions, and this is what it's taken. So I wish we could have done it a softer, easier way, but us humans, I don't know about you, but I often need a kick in the pants by my angelic guides, because it's where we can get really stuck easy. But also, of course, as we talked about the brainwashing over many years.
Yes.
So that's why I think too, it's really important we talk about our experiences and we share them. And that's not easy either, because some people think we're tinfoil hat wearing lunatics, people love to make fun of us, everything else. We sure don't win any popularity contests by doing this. In fact, it costs us community, it costs us sometimes our
Family
health.
members.
Yeah. So what would you like?
My family members all behind this stuff. This is not something I wanted to happen, but it happened. I mean, if I was making this, why would anybody make up all of this stuff just to lose their friends, their families, be isolated? This is not something that I don't think anybody would want to do.
Yeah.
Or to happen to them. But, the few of us who are awake, awake and aware, we've lost a lot. Attacked. You can't post truth to the people because we get attacked by Facebook and everybody. So this is not a life that, people would be thinking that, oh, you're just making stuff up. No, we're not. This has actually happened to us. And it's going to act. And the thing about it, Karen, is I think some people have had experiences like you and I have had, but I think a lot of people are embarrassed.
Yeah, because we even, and that I believe is also part of the waking up process. So we start to wake up and then we doubt our own sanity. We wonder if maybe we're gone crazy.
Yes. And I think,
and it takes time to work through that, to get to the point where we then realize we've got skills and abilities to share that will help improve, humankind's experience here.
Yes. And, once people get over the fear of being, shunned, sometimes you have to take a leap of faith, and you have to put your fears aside. Because it took me years to even get to where I'm at as far as my spiritual, my galactic travels and stuff like that. This stuff didn't happen to me overnight. I had to work for a lot of things that I'm able to do. And I'm still learning. I'm still not allowed to do certain things unless my galactic guys say that it's okay. So it's a process. And I think, for me, it started when I was very, very young, but people who are coming out now, if they wake up now, I think maybe the process might go a little bit faster for them, I would think.
I would agree.
That we're in.
I would agree. I think it's the same process as when you clone a plant. So when you clone a plant, you take a little branch off your plant and you plant it, but it grows at an accelerated rate until it is the same size as the parent and only took maybe 1/10 of the time to get to that size. So I think it's the same thing with awakening. So all the newly awakened, it's extremely uncomfortable what they have to go through, but it is happening faster and faster. And so those of us that are here can offer skills, services, abilities, all kinds of things to assist the newly awakened. And I know both you and I have services and things to offer in support of newly awakened people. And both of us have websites that offer services. But I was wondering, Susan, if you want to talk a bit about when did you get started with your website? What motivated you to do it? Anything you want to say about the website for the listeners would be great. And of course, that's going to be embedded with the video, but also in the description below so people can easily find it. But please do tell us about your website.
Okay, thank you. My website, I put my website up in 2016. I have been always designing websites. I like to design things on the computer. So I've been designing websites for over 30-something years. But at one point I stopped because I didn't want to do it. It takes a lot of work to maintain and, update and all that kind of stuff.
It
I didn't
does.
break from doing it because I've been doing it for over 20 years at that time. About over 25 years, I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm going to stop doing it. I need a break from it. And one day I was sitting in my living room, and out of nowhere, my Galactic guys came up and told me, you need to put up a website. They just said it like that. You need to put up a website. And I, of course, I didn't want to do it. And I said, no, I don't want to do that because I don't have an idea. I don't have a theme for it. I mean, I can't just put up a website and not know what the theme of the website is going to be. It has to have some kind of story or something with it.
Yes.
That when you start designing it, and we'll give you what you need to keep it flowing.
Perfect.
And I listened to what they said. I didn't want to do it, Karen. I'll be honest with you. I really did not want to put up a website.
Yeah.
But the minute I started putting up that site, I found the right software, all kinds of good stuff, and everything just fell right into place, even down to the design of the website.
Wow.
It came from them, not me. It came from them because I was against putting up the site. I was against it. All of the input that is on the site and all the information and stuff like that, the majority of it came from them. They helped me because I did not want to do it. But they said that it needed to go up, and it was been up since 2016. They said there's going to come a time where you're going to have the website up because people are going to need this information. And the social media platforms that you're on now are not going to allow this information. So you're going to set up this website so people have like a library to go to.
Right.
And that's the reason I set it up. And it's been up since 2016, and I'm still working on it. And you know, most of the ideas and the information I put on it comes from me. Some of it comes from me, but a lot of the information is coming from them, not me.
Right. Right.
Not me. Yes.
And so do you, so you cover all kinds of what I would call alternative topics, alternative to the mainstream. So that includes health.
Yes.
That includes politics. That includes the latest in technology, all the forbidden topics.
Yes.
Like what the truth about our history on the planet, things like that. What am I missing? What else can people find on your website?
I'll just say basically anything that mainstream media doesn't tell you, my website tells you.
And what I really like about your website too is the way you've got reputable sources. So you haven't just taken willy-nilly sources that discuss the topics. You've got sources that you've come to know over time and trust.
Yes, I had to, before I was even approached, before my Galactic guides asked me to put up the site. Prior to that, I had been doing years of research with all the information, all the different people that are on the website. I had been following them for years and getting, learning about the information and researching them, making sure they're legitimate and all that kind of stuff before I even put the website up. So when it was time to put the site up, I knew automatically who was going to go on there because I knew these were trusted people that I had been following for years.
Right.
And they've been doing the same thing that I've been doing for even more years.
Yeah.
So they're like the old timers, the old time people.
Yeah, they're specialists. It's funny. Each one of us that breaks off from the mainstream, we seem to find our calling in different areas, and we go down these rabbit holes and they branch off. And so nobody, everybody's done 20 years, 50 years, whatever of research. They're brilliant and they're experts in that branch of alternative reality. And so rather than trying to figure it all out for ourselves, why not go down a few rabbit holes with people that have already gone down there and know what to expect?
Yes.
And can help us, glean what we need out of it.
Yes.
And I also wanted to ask you, I myself believe that there is no universal one truth. There are many facets of universal truth. So with that being said, oh great, now someone's mowing the grass outside. Hopefully it won't be picked up on the speaker. always something when you're doing a show. Sorry. So what I was going to say is, I encourage people not to believe everything I say or what I produce or offer, but to have an open mind and take it in, and then kind of see where it settles, so that we go and gravitate to what resonates with us and not worry about the stuff that doesn't resonate with us. How would you describe it, Susan?
Well, basically, I tell people, the information, because I know a lot of people don't believe a lot of things that I post or say or whatever. And that's okay. Everybody has their own opinion. I tell them, okay, you don't have to believe me, but at least do your own research and find out for yourself and draw your own conclusions. In other words, don't believe anything I say.
Yeah.
But I hope the information that I put out there will motivate people to do their own research so they can draw their own conclusions and realize that there is more than just what the news is telling you going on.
Oh my goodness. The news is so far off of truth that it's ridiculous.
I don't even, Karen, I stopped looking at the news, I think maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Stop looking. I can't stop looking. Once in a blue moon, I'll click them on and I'll look at them. And for 5 minutes, I get upset. That's it. I got to get off the TV because I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
They're not telling the people the truth.
Yeah, me too. And it seems like the more we find our true self and find our sovereignty, we become very sensitive to what the world is pushing on us. So for instance, if I'm visiting someone and they're watching mainstream TV, because I don't even have cable here, I don't watch any TV. I watch some Netflix. I do some research on YouTube. I follow the different links that friends send me, but I stay off the major networks. But anyway, I find the commercials, they physically make me feel sick. There's a vibration about them that they very quickly shut down my nice, calm nervous system and brings out anxiety in me. And so I think it's a protection. I'm not saying people should or shouldn't watch TV, but I know as we become more sensitive, that is one of the number one things that people tend to just go, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
And I've noticed too, Karen, I noticed for myself that I'm having a hard time being around certain people now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I can't, I physically get sick. Physically, I can't, it's just what you just said. I feel something physical inside of me. It's like my, what is it? It's like my frequency is not connecting with a lot of things that are happening here on this planet right now. Yeah. And I'm finding it very difficult to interact with certain people. It's like my frequency is not there. If they're not, I don't want to say that I'm not better than anybody. I know that, and nobody's better than me. We're all equal. But I believe there's a frequency thing going on here.
There sure is.
If you're not on the same frequency, you're going to get static. You're going to feel static. And that's what I feel. It feels like I'm static. If I can't communicate with somebody that understands what's going on or whatever, it's like I feel like I have to dumb myself down. And I'm not trying to be funny or rude to anyone, but that's what I'm feeling sometimes.
I agree. I have the same thing. So, I'll be listening to someone and they'll be doing whatever they're doing. And if it's way off frequency of what I'm used to, I immediately feel very uncomfortable. And then my conscious mind, I'm going, well, I should give them the benefit of the doubt, let them have their opinion. But now I'm getting to the point where I literally get such an intense feeling and it won't stop building until I run away. I literally have to excuse myself and run away. Literally. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the thing is that this is my own guidance system wanting to protect me. This is how our guides often communicate with us, is through body sensations. But if we're asleep, we're ignoring all of that. We go to the doctor because we keep getting headaches or something, or stomach aches, and getting pills. But what we don't realize, it's from shutting down our true nature,
Yes, yes. And
you
the true
know?
nature wants to come out right now. And I think a lot of people are afraid to let go, to just let go of this reality and
Yeah.
try something different. So they're getting all of these physical symptoms and they're running back and forth. Because I remember one time I went to the hospital, and I remember there was a lot of patients in there, emergency room patients in the hospital, and they were there for unexplained symptoms that nobody could. There was nothing wrong. They were feeling all kinds of physical symptoms, but there was nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
Doctors didn't find anything wrong with them. And I think that's part of the awakening process too.
Oh, I agree.
All that.
I agree. I call that Ascension Symptoms. And it is. I went through a physical sickness where, because I was so enmeshed in my thinking and confused with all the influences around me, my body and my spirit took over. And I became very sick when I was around certain chemicals. Like I couldn't use personal care products that had SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, in it because it was toxic to my body. I couldn't use certain toothpaste. I couldn't eat certain foods anymore. I couldn't drink alcohol anymore. That had to go. That just had to go because it just didn't work for me anymore. And so as I cast off those different things, I went through a lot of discomfort. But once I started feeding my body what it needed and taking good care of myself, I felt really selfish, though, in the transition to it. Did you ever feel selfish, or did you know it was something you had to do?
Well, I mean, I'm still going through it now. There's a lot of, I find out that food really doesn't even appeal to me anymore. I eat it because my physical body needs it.
Yeah.
I'm to the point now where I'm ready to just get some vegetables and some fruit and just put it in a blender and make drinks out of them. Drink it because I can't. I can taste the chemicals in the food now.
Yes. Yes.
Horrible. I'm like, how in the heck did I eat this stuff?
Oh, I'm the same way. And I'm talking about healthy food. I'm very, very, very fortunate where I live in Alberta, where there are farms. So I go out to a farm. Well, actually, it's not a farm. Well, I don't know what it is. But anyway, I go to a place where they sell really clean food. It isn't always organic, but it's chemical free. Because I can't go and buy a box of salad from the supermarket and dump dressing on it and eat it. I can't do that anymore. All the chemicals, I can taste them, I can sense them.
Yeah.
So my diet changed a lot too. And but the more we change, what's cool is then our superpowers start to emerge, right? So once we get through that, there's these superpowers, and we all have the same superpowers, some different, but I think that the whole amazing experience is available for everybody. So that includes interdimensional travel, maybe with or without our bodies. That can include going to places. I wanted to mention, our time is running short already. It always goes so fast. But I wanted to tell you, when you were talking in the beginning, how you were first taken and it was a beautiful place with flowers and there was a gate. Okay, there was a period of time for me about 20 years ago where I was really ill and a lot of pain. And I used to have that's where I started taking these therapeutic baths, with hot water and Epsom salts and essential oils and crystals and all that, right? And a couple of times I was talking to the Archangel Gabriel, and Gabriel scooped me up etherically and took me to Heaven's Gate. Now I couldn't go in, because I was still corporeal and living my life, but he literally took me to Heaven's Gate. It was very much the way you described it. And he would put me down and I would just lie there and I could hear the music inside and smell how beautiful it was and see the flowers and everything. And it really helped me. And then he'd bring me back and then boom, I'd be back in my body in the tub again, right? So these are some incredibly beautiful experiences that everyone can have. So I'm just wondering if you have anything that you want to say in closing about your experiences or what people can look forward to, or do you have any cautionary note or anything you want to tell our listeners today?
Well, the first thing is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We're all going through this period right now. With this, basically, I'll just say hell is here on earth right now. Someone said, hell, what is it? The demons in hell are not there. They're here on earth right now. Literally, I mean that. But we have to be able to not be afraid. We have to try not to be afraid because we have to move on from here. Because it's our time, and we only have a certain amount of time to do this, Karen. That's what a lot of people don't understand. This window of our freedom, humanity's freedom on this planet, it's only going to last for a certain amount of time. From what I understand, after a certain year, I forgot what year that is, it's going to close off again. And humanity, the remainder of humanity will be stuck. They will literally be stuck here. So you only have a certain amount of time to do this. Now, some people are saying that because we've been going through this stuff for generations and generations, and it's embedded in who we are and all this kind of stuff, that it's going to take generations for us to get out of this. We don't have generations.
We don't have generations. Just with the shenanigans going on this planet right now, it could be all over in 2 years, you know?
Yeah, we don't have that time.
We don't have the luxury of time.
We don't have the luxury of time because this awakening process came in a little bit late. So I would encourage everybody to just try your best to, first of all, do your own research. Again, don't believe anything I'm saying. You know, just do your own research and draw your own conclusions. And you can speak to your guides. All of us have galactic guides, spiritual guides. You can go inside yourself, speak to them, and ask them to help guide you out of this. And they will. They're listening to you. They're waiting for you to ask questions and stuff. Because I talk to my guides all the time, Karen, all the time.
Me too.
And they answer. They talk back to me and they make sense to me.
Yep, you know, me too.
So we all have them. Talk to them and let them know that you need help in guiding your way out of this. Because unfortunately, like I said, time is running out. I mean, you can see what's going on. You know, they don't want us here no more. They're trying to do whatever they got to do to get rid of us. You know, and it's nothing but the aliens who are doing that. It's the aliens. And this is not the first set of humans that they got rid of. I mean, I think they said we're like the 85th species that they demolished off of this planet. It's like we're toys to them. Whenever they get tired of playing with us or they feel we're waking up, they can't play the game on us anymore, then they want to get rid of you and create a whole new type of species, which is what they're doing right now. What is it? The transhuman species. Is what they're creating, because they know they can control that, because you'll be like a robot and you'll be controlled by basically by AI. So that's the next species that's coming in. You know, and if you don't want to be an AI robot, then you need to wake up.
And then we can band together and we can use our own powers and we can just change everything. We can literally link up, and with the power of intention and consciousness, we can tap into our guides and we can send a shockwave around this whole planet that will disable everything that's toxic.
Because everything, I mean, the biggest thing they didn't tell humanity is that we are the co-creators of this reality. They didn't tell us that. We create, that's why they feed off of us, and they use our ability to create this mess that we're in right now. Because they know all they have to do is feed a thought into our brains or whatever, and we will manifest it. And that's exactly what we've done. So we have to stop manifesting what they want and manifest what we want individually and as a collective whole. And that's what I've been doing. I've been thinking, I mean, for years, I didn't tell you this, Karen, but years ago, I started envisioning that I was seeing this entire planet, everybody on this planet on one day, everybody on this planet, wherever they live at, whatever country they live at, that we would all come together. Well, not, they would be together in their country, we'd be together, but we'd be doing something together. We'd have like a big, gigantic celebration, a picnic together. Or we'll be joining hands together. And we all at one time, it doesn't matter what time it is in your state, my country, your country, at one time we all come together. And I keep that vision in my head. And you want to know something, Karen? It's interesting because I forgot what country is doing it, but by the end of this month, they all joining hands, all of them. This one particular country, they're going to be joining hands at one time. Now, I envisioned that years ago. And today, I found that in Italy, the whole country is actually having a picnic. They're outside in front of the restaurants that won't allow them to go in. They're sitting out having a picnics on the ground now.
Wonderful. So you see it happening. It's actually occurring. Now imagine if we all bind together and we all imagine peaceful, loving, no pollution, happiness. The other thing is what we need to disable, I think, the grid, like HARP and all of that, because as soon as the machines are shut off, we're going to wake up to a whole new level of reality because we're being mind controlled by these devices.
Now, the thing about that, I remember a couple of years ago, I was researching about that. Somebody was asking the same question. Well, why can't they just shut down the machines? And so that we're not mind controlled and all that kind of stuff. But they were saying if they just shut all the machines down at one time, the people who are really connected to them, they would die. They would die because they're really connected to it, especially the ones now who have the vaccine. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Have the evil poke.
You have the evil poke. The ones who have the evil poke are already connected to that AI. So if you cut down the machines, shut the machines off, you're shutting them off as well.
Oh, no. Well, I still think that in the etheric and spiritual realities, we can still fix all of that.
Yes.
We need to come together, and we're not going to come together till people wake up, because as long as they're asleep, they're divided. They're divided by religion. They're divided by income. They're divided by skin tone. And male, female, and oh my goodness, the whole thing has just gone crazy. So, we got to wake up, and then we can go through what we need to go through and get support. So we're all pretty much out of time, but I want to say, please do check out Susan's website. It will give you so much support. And also you can contact Susan through her website. If you have any questions or you're looking for something, she may be able to help you. You can also contact me through my website, and I've got oodles and oodles of resources and podcasts and blogs, and so does Susan, and we've got so much to offer. So please do share this video with your friends and your family, people that you think it might help. Feel free to reach out to us. Please do share this video with other people, because we're here to serve, and you may as well take advantage of that. So sorry, did you have anything last to say, Susan?
No, I just wanted to say I want to thank your audience for listening to me ramble on. And I thank you for having me on your show again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Susan. It's so nice to, all my friends now are people that I can be completely free with. I can be myself, regardless of goofy, make sense, don't make sense. It's such a wonderful thing. So that's the other thing. After people wake up, they're going to find just scads of people that become their new friends. And it's so wonderful. And I really appreciate having you on the show. And I just wish much love to everybody out there. Be strong, take your courage, and embrace your sovereignty.